Hi, everyone, and welcome to Dave's Bucket, the ultimate travel channel. I have a question for you. Is your sock drawer full of these? Let's talk about it. All right, so welcome back. I think it's a good time of the year to talk about credit card strategy, particularly travel credit card strategy. And so I have a question for you. Do you, once a year, once every couple years, kind of look at your strategy, look at your cards, and like I said, do you look in your sock drawer to see how many cards you never use in your sock drawer? So I think that's a good thing to do. I would call that a best practice. Now, I'd like to say that I'm disciplined enough and smart enough to do that myself, but the reason for today's video is actually a triggering event, which if you've been paying any attention, and it's kind of died down a little bit since it was first announced, but effective next year, Delta is kicking us all out of the Sky Club, and when I say us, I mean American Express Platinum members. I've been an American Express Platinum member since my card says 2000. I thought it was longer than that. But anyway, great card. I've gotten a lot of use out of it for buying airplane tickets and things like that. But at this point, the main purpose for me to have it is for Delta SkyClub access. And effective 2025, instead of having unlimited access, it's going down to, I believe it's 6 per year, which is not very good. So for a $700 annual fee, that is just not going to cut it. So I've had a really interesting morning today. I've just spent the last couple hours on the phone with various credit cards and cleaning out my sock drawer of all these cards. So I've canceled literally every card you see here. I've canceled today. so So much fun. So much fun. I'll talk about overall strategy here in a minute, but let me just tell you what I did with the American Express. So, like I said, $695 annual fee. Let's call it 700. You get a $200 airline credit, so I get a $200 Delta credit. It's easy to use if you have a lot of Sky Miles service charges for mileage tickets, particularly international ones. It's less hard to use on a normal basis, but I've never had trouble using it. So let's just assume that I can use that. That drops the annual fee down to basically $500. And I need Priority Pass. I need that badly for all my travels and weird airports. And, I love Priority Pass, but there's so many different ways to get it. I'm just not going to pay American Express $500 for that. I'm just not going to do it. So I have kicked my American Express Platinum to the curb this morning. Had a nice conversation with the lady, told her why. She did offer me a retention of $350 statement credit or 35,000 American Express points for spending $4,000. I did decline that. And so the card is out of there. And I hate to do it, but it's just not worth it to me. Now, you do get a $200 Uber credit, and I've always just kind of used that the last day of the month for Uber Eats and things like that. Bottom line, this card is designed for millennials that live in New York and Los Angeles. It's just not designed for somebody with the kind of travel I do and things like that. It's just not good. So I've kicked that to the curb, and what have I replaced it with? Chase Sapphire Reserve. That is what I have replaced it with. So instead of a $500 effective fee, if you will, just to get Priority Pass, the Sapphire Reserve has a $550 annual fee, but you get $300 travel credit. So it basically makes it a $250 effective fee, which I think is much, much better. So, and the Priority Pass includes restaurants, which American Express doesn't. It used to, and very quietly 2 or 3 years ago, they removed that benefit. So, bottom line, American Express keeps removing benefits. They're in cahoots with Delta. They're nickel and diamond everybody, and so they're out of there. And I've switched to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. They had a sign-on bonus of 60,000 points for $4,000 spend. I have just purchased $5,000 worth of airplane tickets with that card, so I've already got my bonus. And so that bonus will basically pay for 2 years of annual fee. If you think of 60,000 points as worth $600, and it can be more than that if you book it through them, which I'll get to in a minute. But basically, I'm covered for 2 years. And then if Delta decides to make some changes with American Express, then maybe I'll go back to AX Plat eventually. But for the next couple of years, I'm riding with the Sapphire. Riding with the Sapphire. I'll get my priority pass for much less, and it's a better benefit because it includes the restaurants. One thing I will say though is their travel portal. I just bought all these airplane tickets. I bought 6 tickets. I was not able to use their portal for any of them. The fares were either higher or the airline didn't show up. Now I was booking a bunch of super weird stuff, but in one case the city I was flying to didn't even show up in their booking engine, and in all the rest of them, the fare was higher. So, in order to get 5 points per dollar spent, you have to book through them, which American Express, any airline ticket's 5 points. So I am losing that, but anyway, so not too impressed so far with Chase and their portal. So we'll see how that fleshes out over the next couple of years. But yeah, so I've made my decision. I'm driving on. And the only other thing I'm losing, which I kind of have a little heartburn about, is with American Express Platinum, you get Hilton Gold. And I used to stay enough at Hilton's to get status without that, but I don't anymore. And so I hate to give that up. I still have a lot of Hilton points to burn through. And so I'm basically losing free breakfast when I stay at Hilton. But Hilton's off my list too, so I'm on a tear and I'm firing everybody that doesn't suit my needs. So that's my decision around American Express. Now let's talk a little bit about overall strategy. Some of the other cards I canceled today. I have a Norwegian cruise line card. Boom. And I got it just because I took a cruise on Norwegian recently. So I basically got the card, paid for the cruise with the card, got the bonus, used it as onboard credit for drinking money, and the cruise is over. I'm not planning to do any large mass market cruises anymore, and it's nothing against Norwegian. It was fine, but I'm never going to do that again. Well, I won't say never, but I'm probably not going again on Norwegian. So I got rid of that card, and I also got rid of my Delta Blue American Express. It's been sitting in the sock drawer ever since I got it. I only got it in case I needed it for pay for miles. But in the meantime, later, I went and I got the Delta Gold American Express because they had a 1 year no annual fee. And then this year it kicked in. It's $150. Absolutely useless card. But the reason you have to have it is if you have a lot of Delta miles, you get a 15% discount on redemptions. I just took a trip to Italy a couple years ago, and I remember thinking, man, if I had that, I would have saved like 40,000 points, if I would have had a Delta American Express. But they're not good cards. They're just not. So I didn't want to pay the $150 annual fee. So instead, and this is where Delta and American Express love this, I got rid of the gold and I picked up the platinum. And that way I can still get my 15% discount on miles. But I have to pay a $350 fee. I hate that. The card's not worth it, but you get a companion certificate. As long as I use the companion certificate, it's worth it. Now, if I don't use this companion certificate, and they're very hard to use, I used to have a Delta American Express Reserve card, the more expensive one. And it's not easy to use those certificates. I let many of them expire, but I'm not going to do that because I need to pay for this $350 annual fee. So I've done all that, and then the American Express Platinum came with a gold card for my wife, and I only did that so she could get um, TSA pre-check reimbursed every however often, 3 or 4 years, and so yeah. So I think it's a cool idea to just kind of go through your sock drawer and just pull these cards out and just start canceling those suckers, man. I was not going to let Delta and American Express kick me out of the Sky Club and then continue to pay the fee, even though it's a pretty good card. Even though it really gave me heartburn to get rid of it, but I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it anymore. So what's my strategy now? My strategy now is everything goes on Chase Sapphire Reserve, except for if I'm staying at an IHG property, IHG card. If I'm staying at Marriott, Marriott card. And then again, I do have the Delta American Express Platinum. The only thing that will ever go on that will be service charges for Sky Miles tickets. I don't see myself ever. I can get more. If I buy a Delta ticket with the Chase card, I get more points than if I buy it with the Delta American Express card. It makes absolutely zero sense. So anyway, I know a lot of us, we go out and we get all these cards and we get the bonuses and then we just throw them in the sock drawer. And, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I canceled 6 cards today. I feel great about it. So get out your sock drawer, get out your cards. If you got big annual fees and you're not using the benefits associated with it, just get rid of them. The Platinum American Express has a lot of benefits, but what do I use them for? I've already got travel insurance, right? It's just not worth $700 a month. A year if you're not going to get Sky Club access. I made great use of it in the past. 6 times a year. What good is that? I can't even take my wife. Makes no sense. I lose access to the American Express Lounge too. But guess what? Can't take my wife. What good is it? It's no good to me. So thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like. I am presently working on a video for my cruise that I just finished. I just published episode 1, and I'm trying to publish the rest of it. Struggling with it due to video length, unfortunately. And then I'm going to have a trip to Turkey and Vietnam coming up, as well as South Africa. So please keep tuning in. Please subscribe and have a great day. Happy New Year.